Hello, beautiful beings, and welcome to Circle Conversations, a podcast held with intention and rooted in presence. I'm Ariel Carreras, and this podcast is produced by a Create Space, where creativity is honored as a sacred, evolving practice. Today's episode is centered around creative autonomy. I'm gonna freestyle.
Okay, here's the problem. Maybe when Chris comes back.
Your coffee. Can you bring Cassie her coffee?
Oh my god, you don't have to do that. I will get Ariel to do it. Thank you so much. It's my life. It's my life force. I love you. Thank you.
Okay.
Can I just say something funny really
Yeah.
fast? Like me and you vibes together. You have boots on. I have no shoes on.
You have your coffee, I have my water.
Yeah. We're just opposites. I love it. But we just go. That candle smells amazing.
Okay. Hi.
Hi.
Today I'm joined by someone whose presence in my life has unfolded naturally over the years. She used to joke that I was the other half of her brain.
Still do.
She's a deep thinker, a deep feeler, a lover of the arts. She also wrote the foreword to my first ever book that I wrote and published. Cassie. Should I say your full name? Cassandra?
Sure.
Cassie?
Whatever you want to say. I go by all of it.
Cassandra Velasco. Cassie, welcome to today's circle.
Thank you for having me. I'm honored to be here and to share space with you.
Oh, thank you. Before we dive into the episode, let's take a moment to invite the creative spirit and just take a deep breath and hold a pause. So breathe in and breathe out. Nice.
Thank you. That was lovely.
Thank you.
Okay, let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right, so it's just a conversation with a lot of gear.
Yeah.
All right, commence conversation.
So the original topic was creative autonomy, and that can mean so many things. But the start of it was, how do we tap into our creativity in like the busyness of the world that we live in, all the roles that we play. And you had a great idea of how we can start the conversation that's more authentic to us. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to just throw that at you because I don't remember what the exact words were.
I think what I'm really fixated on right now in this time of my life is finding your creative voice and not only protecting it and claiming that, right, standing in that power, but letting it continue to change and changing with it and continuing to find it and be sparked by it and letting it lead you. I think that's like a place that I, as a parent, right, like I have 2 boys, and becoming a mom has been a whole different side of myself that I'm growing into, and it's changed parts of me, right? And so what does that mean to kind of gain different milestones throughout your life and refine yourself and refine like what you like?
Yeah.
So I think what I like about the question that you're posing is, in the busyness that life presents, right, how do you find your voice? How do you find what you like? And then how do you protect that, and how do you create expression around that? Like, how's that looked for you?
I feel, how does that look for me? I feel like for me, it ends up being this thing that happens naturally. And what ends up happening is that I am not present, but I'm doing the work. I've changed what creative outlet it is that I'm like living in that moment. And then once I'm not necessarily out of it, but I have to somehow do something to ground myself, or like if I finish a project like the book, like it takes me a minute to really appreciate it. And I think I struggle with being present. And when I struggle with the being present in that, I struggle with the intentionality of it, and that's something I want to work on.
So do you feel like your creative expression is something you tap into and it's always there? Like you've always had that and therefore like it kind of is a constant for you? Because I feel like a little bit of the opposite for me.
I feel like it's a constant for me, and then I went through a phase recently where I didn't feel creative at all, and it put me in a very dark place because my my creativity ties into like a core belief of how I view creativity and how I honor creativity, and like how we think, how we cook, how we write, how we express ourselves, how we pick ourselves back up, how we want to wallow in it. It's all very creative.
Yeah.
And when I got to that phase where I felt very numb and not in tuned into that, it was very foreign to me.
Like being in the dark, like being separated from a muse, you know?
Yeah. But you have a different perspective of that, or experience.
Yeah. I feel like the need for creativity is constant, but the way I've connected to it continues to change. And I think my likes have changed over time, what I like, what I'm inspired by. And I think for the past few years, have been really challenged to find inspiration and beauty in new ways. Like, yes, I always find beauty in nature and I always find beauty in art. And so I'll go out and try to find those things, but it looks different. It feels different as I've gotten older. And someone that I read a lot of, Ezra Klein, he's a writer and he was the creator of Vox, VOX, but now is at the New York Times, I think. But anyways, he's a writer, but he has this whole thing about like in a world of algorithms, in a world that's always showing us the next thing to like, to fit in, to like opt into mass production sort of thing. Even Spotify's like, you will like this if you like this, right? It takes away the exploration of finding something new. And I think for so many people that don't seek that out, right? I guess what I really am saying is curiosity is my creative spirit. And so when things are constantly telling me what the next thing I'm going to like is, and I'm not the one seeking it out, it creates that separation for me.
Yeah.
So like knowledge, curiosity, getting into kind of a discomfort or new things, like that brings me such a creative spirit. And it helps me to find my voice in a way like, oh, do I like that because I like it? Or do I like that because someone I like is wearing that, or someone I like showed me that song, or it meant something to me 20 years ago. You know what I mean? Like, what does it actually mean to me right now?
Yeah. I love that. Yeah, I find myself feeling similar, in what I do in response to that is I just delete my social media apps, but it's still there.
Yeah.
And so I feel like that's a cool way to counteract that.
Yeah, I think social media for sure, just it dampens and creates like, it just puts you in a mass part of what you think you like. So I agree. I think social media is probably a downfall of creativity, but creative like collaboration, I think it can add a lot to it, right? And access to global knowledge, like listening to music from different countries inspires, like when I think in pictures.
Yeah.
And so like when I hear when I hear music from different all over the world, right, it like conjures different colors in my mind. It conjures a different feeling in my mind, which is going to put me in a different headspace to write or create or do something like that. And I think it's like those glimmers that you find your voice. So you're like, oh, this was the takeaway. Like this feeling that inspired this moment made me kind of connect to this thing. You know what I mean? And like that is the part that you have to protect. And for me, that's, I think, curiosity, like the curiosity to go and seek those things.
Yeah.
And then I think something that I really like learned with you is like the pause, right? The pause to sit in it, and the creativity for me comes next.
Yeah.
You know?
How do you protect that though? Like, how do you protect your curiosity? Like, how do you even carve out time to be curious?
Yeah, that's the hard part. That's the hard part. And I think I lost that for a little while too. I think, with just trying to juggle two small kids and losing a parent and working and all the things that I've done in the past 2 years. But like, right, all great things, like, you once it gets away from you is like when you know, like, oh my god, I'm missing something. I like it aches to be away from it.
Yeah.
And so it's like you either prioritize what matters or you don't.
Yeah.
And the truth is if you don't prioritize that creative spirit, for me, that curious spirit, what I'm actually doing is I'm ignoring myself. I'm not paying attention to or loving myself well.
Yeah.
Right? And if you don't love yourself well, how do you expect others to love you well? So I think that is like, yeah, I have not succeeded in that, so I don't have a great answer, but I'm working towards succeeding in that. And trying to just carve out space. I think your book talks, like, that's what your book is about. Your book is about carving out space to hear yourself.
Yeah. What does your voice mean to you? Like, is it a feeling? Is it a core belief? What is it?
What is your voice? I think your voice is your essence. It is who you are. So I think it develops with you and it's cultivated. It's like a spiritual intuition, and when you're close to your own voice and as you develop confidence and exploration and authenticity, it invites you to build the power within yourself to stand and use that voice, whether that's through speech or through writing or through creating art, whatever that is. Like you said, like, we are creative in everything that we do. It's a lifestyle. Like, humans are meant to create, and I think creating brings healing and belonging, and we belong to ourselves first. So it's like you have to create and know that voice. It's like your voice tells you how to do that, and when we get further away from ourselves and allow ourselves to blend into the background or get lost in the busyness or productivity, right? If we value productivity over our self-expression, then we eliminate its power. We create barriers, right, to how it can express itself.
I couldn't agree more. That was poetic right there.
I've been sitting with that one too, because I think, as women, there are so many ways in which we are asked to silence our voices, and we are asked to be polite rather than listen to our inner voice, right? And that gut feeling, like, we're asked to talk ourselves out of that. And I have had a radical reorienting of like, no, actually, that's there to protect me.
Yeah.
That's there to help me create. That's who I am.
Yeah, that's who you are.
That's there for a reason. And I don't want to apologize for that anymore. I want to use that and cultivate it to listen to it a little bit more closely.
Yeah. This is why I love her, guys.
What do you think? What does it mean to you?
I feel like creativity is a way to connect the spirit with the body and with the mind all together. And I mean, everything you said. And that it's more of a feeling to me too. Like, it is a core belief that we all are all creatives, and we were put here. Like, that's a part of being a human. Like, having a human experience is to be able to create. And I feel like it's a disservice to not honor that, even in the small ways. Yeah, I would say that's what staying true to my voice, or what my voice means to me, because I feel like calling yourself a creative doesn't mean that, like, you're in a certain industry or you're putting out a certain amount of content, or, like, I just feel like we're all creatives. Yeah,
I'm glad you said that. I think so too. And I think, like, I am a creative, but there are many creative things I'm not good at, right? But that doesn't mean that I shouldn't try them or do them. And something I've been sitting with too is just like, make bad art.
Yeah.
Make bad art and create new neural pathways that say, no, actually, this feels good, right? Like, I think there's this society has created art to be and look in a certain way. Yeah. I was talking about that yesterday with someone, and it's like, no. And then so sometimes when you create art, it feels bad because you think it should look a certain way, but that is programmed. That is programmed into you from society. So how do we deprogram and just let whatever is inside of us come out without with permission to not judge it, right?
Yeah.
Like, Yeah.
And to not also have the expectation that it has to be a goal. Like, yes, progress over perfection, but also it doesn't have to be progress either. Like, it's healing to just do it.
To just do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think so too. And I think like the reasons, right? That Rumi quote, it's like all the barriers that you, what is it? Put before
I'm gonna butcher
love,
it.
you know, like, you know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about?
Mm-hmm.
It's like all the wound enters,
Mm-hmm.
the light enters through the wound,
Yep.
right? So it's like,
Mm-hmm.
that means like all the barriers that you've put before your heart are the things that now don't let it get in.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like when you are approaching art and you're thinking like, oh, I can't do that because this is a barrier, it's not going to look good or it's not going to feel good, or right, like all of those things are ways that other people have judged you,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and it's just like letting it all go so that you can just put anything down and give
Mm-hmm.
yourself permission to start,
Yeah.
rather than being paralyzed and like waiting it to be perfect or waiting for the right time or waiting for all these different reasons. Like those are the politenesses, right, that silence our voice. Those
Yeah.
are like all the things that tell us not to create
It's strange.
this and I think we have to challenge ourselves to live beyond that.
Yeah. How do you know when something feels true to you versus when somebody or something else is putting their own expectations on what you are? I feel like it's steering away a little bit from the topic, but
no, I think it's a great question. I think it's actually right on topic, because I think it is what you're really asking at the core is like, how do you listen to yourself,
mm-hmm.
right? And so like, what happens when your authentic self is shown and seen by yourself or by someone else? Like,
Yeah.
there's no greater feeling than feeling seen by the people that you love around you,
Mm-hmm.
and right, so that's creating space,
Mm-hmm.
that's vulnerability, that's being true, listening to yourself, and then that's offering it to someone else so that they can feel that too. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Yeah.
And so I think it is about how you listen to yourself. And I think when you're true, and it's like a gut feeling.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, I know when something feels like, oh, like I'm excited about
mm-hmm.
that. And it's yes,
Yeah.
and so now I need to go do something with that. It's like
mm-hmm.
I love that you said that creativity is the energy between the mind and the body,
Mm-hmm.
right? It makes me think of like the Greeks. That's what they say the soul is.
Mm-hmm.
The soul like enacts the body.
Mm-hmm.
So if our deepest parts of us, our souls, are things that are eternal,
mm-hmm.
the thing that gives us life, if that is in fact creativity, right? Then we go into the world and we do something with it.
Yeah.
You know, it's a movement. So I think it's like, it's that. Do you see something and you're like, oh, I like it, but I'm gonna sit here with, like, it doesn't make me move.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but I think a true creative spirit that is within you, that like excites you,
mm-hmm.
it propels you into something else.
Yeah.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
Yeah. I would say being intentional about creating that pause. I feel like I'm in a phase now to where I'll get that gut feeling, and now I have to take a pause and make sure, is this a good gut feeling or a bad gut feeling? Or is this a fear? Like, there's just so much of like the inner dialogue and the over analyzing and then the anxiety that can sometimes cloud things. And I think right now I'm in a space where I'm reestablishing who I am, what feels safe to me, what feels like growth to me, because sometimes safe is like being stagnant and like not really pushing myself. And so
how do you do that? How do you sort through anxiety and fear to that truth, to that inner voice?
I've been leaning into my support systems a lot. So I feel like I've been finding a lot of comfort into talking to the people that are closest to me, the people who know me to my core. When I don't feel like I can see myself, I have the people around me that I trust and I love that see me, and that helps me like kind of get out of that, like, what are you talking about? Like, you're what? And then that kind of helps start the process of, okay, let me sit down and journal. Let me go for a walk. Let me reread my book and practice what I preach. So that's where I'm at right now, is really leaning into, and then also reminding myself that like I have a toolkit. I know what works for me.
Mm-hmm.
And it's okay to just pick it back up and start over again because I know that it works. So really just getting back into the practices that I know not only are just not just that's true to me or like helps me during a moment of where I feel triggered or lost or the imposter syndrome comes up, but like that pour into me because I feel like creativity is a part of self-love, but also just doing the work that isn't so like direct of like art therapy or journaling, like doing the work and pouring into myself helps me with that.
Yeah.
Does that answer?
Yeah,
Okay.
I love that. I love that because like it is part of the work to figure out, is that fear or is that inspiration or is that fear, is that love, is that like all those things. And so kind of decluttering your mind with all of the ways that you're programmed to think certain things or what you take in or what you don't, right? Like we're all paying attention to something all of the time. Our brains are so hyper aware and hyper vigilant. And so what are we paying attention to on purpose?
Yeah. There was a video I saw recently. Oh, I'm going to butcher this too. And this guy was talking about that inner dialogue, the ego. And he was saying that whenever it creeps in, that's more of a reason to push yourself because it's trying to get you to stay where you're at. And it's, I really okay, I'm going to have to like link it to this episode because it really like struck a chord. It was such a simple video, but it struck a chord with me when I watched it. But I agree with that. Like, I feel like that's a part of staying in tune with yourself too. Like once you're in tune with yourself, you don't second guess it. You just know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's so true. And that's like what we're talking, how we even started, right? You continue to change and you beat some of those anxieties, and they are no longer ones that are try to be in the driver's seat. They're in the trunk now. They're there, but they're not really there, you know? Yeah. And then as you just get older and you go through new experiences, some things, they just fall off. Like, and then new things come on. And so it's like, how do you embrace your truth and move towards the things that matter the most and keep the priorities, right? And keep yourself on that list. Like, keep yourself on that priority list. Yeah. And like I said, I think we as women are asked to take care of so many things. Yeah, it's so
easy for us to be at the bottom
of so many list. People. And I've had to really learn through therapy, like, girl, put yourself back on the list. Yeah. And move your numbers. Like, but that takes practice. Yeah. So I think what you're saying is absolutely true. Like, you have to sit with yourself. There's something to creating time, creating space, like the mental space, yes, but actually like create the physical space. Yeah. Like, I love your create space because it's like, it's so inviting to do the next thing, you know?
It really is. Yeah.
And it matters. Yeah. They say like working out too, like if you are a person that hates working out, which I am, like even just changing into workout clothes tells your brain, it prepares your brain and gets like already starts releasing endorphins. So it gets you excited about it. So it's like even just creating the space to create invites you to already have those endorphins releasing in your brain, right?
And it's so funny you just said that. Side note. But whenever I don't really feel creative, that's my go-to is like, how can I break a sweat right now? Like, I have to like go work out or like go for the walk doesn't really count. That's really like a pause. But like, I have to go work out or do silks. Like, if I'm not physically moving my body and like having that release, it does, like, I don't know how to articulate it, but like that's my thing. There's like if I can't do the creative piece first, that's like I need that release.
Oh, okay. So I think like where you're headed to is like there's something to creativity that's linked intrinsically to letting go. Yeah. Like whether that's letting go of whatever energies in your body that you need to be able to literally physically sit, or letting go of those anxieties and fears, letting go of the expectations around you, letting go of who people think you are, who you think you are, letting go of, pieces of reality that people put before you, but is not what you're moving towards, right? Like there's something to creativity that helps you let go.
Yeah, it's all of those things.
Which we need desperately. Yeah. Oh, I love that.
Yeah, like I feel like when I'm in those spaces, I'm back in my bubble. Like if I'm not able to connect in my create space, when I'm physically out doing those things, I'm in the zone, and then I just feel lighter afterwards, and then I can create.
And then I can create.
Yeah.
I love how you talk about it like it's a spirit. Like you talk about it like, you know, like through your body, like I'm grounded. No, if I'm not grounded, if I'm not in my body, you know, like your awareness around being in your body and the connection between mind and body, I really appreciate.
Thanks.
Yeah, I love that. I think that's really powerful.
I never even thought about it like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad you like brought attention to it too.
I think it's a superpower because I think a lot of people, we deny our physical selves and when we don't pay attention to our physical needs, and when we do that, we bury that voice, right?
Yeah.
You bury if your needs aren't met, right? Like you can't really grow. You're not going to grow well, at least. And so I think paying attention to what's coming up physically and what you need, and then how to meet that and like connect that mind body, like that's where the spirit enters, right? So
yeah.
I think there's something to that as well. That's beautiful.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Do you have anything that you lean on when you feel disconnected?
I'm a very heady person. So I feel like you're a very body person and I'm a very heady person. So for me, like that, I have to stimulate my intellectual curiosity. And so like philosophy or reading different like global religious texts or reading people that I find inspiration from, there'll usually be something around hope, around creativity, around even grief, you know, like the hope that we find through grief and the connection, like just reading quotes, reading books, finding people that I admire that can kind of re-spark something in me, and then I'll take that concept and just start writing and see what comes up. And so for me, it's kind of looking, and that's why I love film for that reason. Film for me, like it creates a meta conversation in my mind about what I'm thinking about on a bigger scale. And then I'm able to kind of create out of that inspiration, if that makes sense.
It makes perfect sense.
But I could do a better job of like the body piece, you know, like maybe it would come a little bit easier if I paid attention to the whole self. Realistically, I think the way that I feel about my spiritual body is the way that you view like the creative spirit. Like I think we call those different things, but we're talking about the same thing, right? Because it urges us forward in the world, and it inspires us, and it demands work to not only for clarity, but to understand and to know ourselves, right? So that we can move in that spirit. I lost it. If I come back.
Yeah. Okay. So, before we do intro, outro, I do the rapid fire questions.
Oh my God.
The first one is, what's something your younger creative self would be proud to see you in now?
Proud to see me in?
And it doesn't need to be like right now in this moment, but if she would see you and you would talk and like.
Okay. My younger self was very imaginative, very creative, very emotional, and wrote a ton and never shared it with anyone. Like probably burned it after I wrote it. So I think she would be proud that I'm starting to create out loud. And like reading
so beautiful.
Reading to people some poetry and sharing and using it to teach and be with people, like not just for me but also for community.
Yeah, like unapologetically like taking up space. And...
Yeah, I think so.
I love that. Okay, second question. Is there a piece of advice or reflection you would offer to someone in a quiet or uncertain phase of their art? You were here not too long ago doing that for me.
Oh my gosh, and myself. I think find whatever can bring you hope. Like find the thing that inspires you, whether it's a person that knows you well and can sit with you and pull you out of that moment and bring you into the light, right? Or if it's a quote, if it's a movie, find in your comfort there is hope. And so find the thing that makes you comfortable, find the thing that urges you to move a little bit, right? And allow it to breathe into you. Like allow your support to breathe into you, allow inspiration to breathe into you. I think sometimes we think so big about inspiration and we're like, I need to go like meet the Dalai Lama, or I need to like go to this art exhibit. And I think it's like, no, just go sit under a tree.
Yeah.
Like go sit under a tree and take some deep breaths and look around. And I think inherently in beauty is truth.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can't find inspiration there, like I think that's where it all kind of lies. So like let it breathe into you and know, right? If you're sitting in the dark alone, that you probably are the light. So like tap into that.
Yeah. I love that. Last question.
Are you going to answer these too?
I can. Last question. Where do you feel most creatively alive right now?
Oh my gosh. The most creatively alive. I think I'm really on a healing journey that kind of has started this year because I've had a really hard 2 years. So I think I'm infusing creativity into my life to seek out healing, both mentally, physically, emotionally. And that means creating space for myself and giving myself permission to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And I found the most healing and like a personal level and seeking that out in different circles. So like finding time with you and then just naming how you're feeling. Like all of those things, kind of deciding to be on a healing journey and intentionally creating and using art to find that has been breathing life into me in new ways and giving me permission to just like love myself on my own terms.
Yeah.
And to understand that I am changing and will continue to change, and that I want to know her too. I want to honor who I've been and give space to who I'm becoming.
You really need to write, and put it out.
I'm trying. That's gonna be my goal.
Mm-hmm.
I have thoughts and words, but yeah,
they'll come out.
Yeah. I'm getting there. I think like everything's in phases. It's like you have to kind of get to that step to do this step to do this step. And I'm like queen of being like, I'm gonna do this thing now.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, no, let's like back up and like create some silence and sit for a year.
Yeah.
And then let's, do all of the things. And so even just like having this time with you, like it's moving me towards those goals.
Aww.
So I thank you.
I'm honored.
I'm inspired by you. You are so like even your book and just the way that you write about how integral creativeness and like creating things, how it makes you alive. Like we are alive, and and when you don't do those things, you close yourself off to the world, to yourself, to others, to community. And it's like, this is the tool that we have, and we all do it differently. And I think you do such an amazing job of figuring out people's talents and also sitting with yourself and pausing and reflecting on like how we bring those together. You know what I mean? I think that's a gift.
I feel so seen right now.
I love that. Receive it. Okay. What's something your younger self would be proud of you now?
I would say two things. One, that she doesn't feel like the Ariel now has to put on a mask for different people in different spaces. That I can just show up and be me, and then that's enough. And two, being able to like put my creativity out there. Like I kind of similar to you, like you would write and burn it. I still am very imaginative. But I would just keep it to myself, and being able to, but I would just leave it at that. Like I wouldn't even do the making part of it. And then even with like my photography, I started as young as in 5th grade. Even with that, it was something I kept to myself for years before I put it out there. And so seeing myself years later and like having a book and doing photography and painting and just collaborating with other creatives that inspire me, I just feel like she would be in awe. She would think I'm a superstar.
You are a superstar. I love that. All right, is there a piece of advice or reflection you'd offer to someone in a quiet or uncertain phase of their art?
I would say to push yourself. Every little step is a step forward. And so whatever that looks like whether it's leaning into art, whether it's leaning into community. Push yourself, because all of the phases of your life are not permanent. In order to embrace that and be present in it, it takes you being present and doing the work every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that, and I find a lot of strength in that temporary, right? Like, I've talked a little bit about, like, what inspires you, and I think something ever since I was a kid, like, laying under the stars, right? Just looking at, I've always been, like, a moon child. Like, that feeling of being small under something so vast brings me
That's why I love
so
being by the
much
water.
hope. Yeah, there's something about that, like, I don't know, so all your problems feel so small, and it gives you permission to just, like, not feel the immensity of it and just be a part of all of the things around you and in the world. And, you know, being in, you know, deep grief for the past year of my mom, it's like figuring out that our time here is also temporary. Like, this is what we get. We can choose to live in illusions that are created for us and productivity and all, you know, measures of productivity as success. Or you can deconstruct those things. You can look at what really matters, and you can live out loud with those things in mind. You know what I mean? Like, spending time with people that you love, having slow mornings, looking at the stars, like creating space for inspiration to be and live the life that you actually want to live. And that only happens in temporary moments, right? Like, that's all we get. And so I find a lot of strength in that. Thanks for saying that. Yeah. I think that can be a scary thing for some people, not ready to hear.
Yeah, it is.
You know what I mean? Like, people don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
But I think it's, once you embrace it, there's, sometimes it's just shoved down your throat, like it was mine last year.
Yeah.
You know, and you've had that experience too. Like, we've both had that deep grief experience. And I think grief is a really special thing in that once you're in the grief club, no one wants to join it. But once you're in it, you see it on other people. And there is no greater hope than seeing someone else in their grief journey.
Yeah.
And how they have gotten through that, the resilience of that, the strength of that, and how it forces you to know yourself and reprioritize your life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's like a shift in perspective in a way, because it's like, yeah, this is jarring and heavy and hard, and it doesn't invalidate everything that you're experiencing, but do you want the rest of your life to be jarring, hard, and heavy?
And untrue.
And untrue, yeah.
Like, denying what is actually true before it's too late. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So finding strength in the temporary, and that even, like, our feelings, like, they're going to come and go, they're going to change, and that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, number 3.
Oh, there's another one.
Yes. Where do you feel most creatively alive right now?
Honestly, right now.
Like, I was thinking the same thing, but I was like, I didn't want to say that because it felt very cliche, but yes.
I really do. I feel like I'm pushing myself every time I record. This is my second recording. And I'm embracing just the free flowiness of it all. Like, it's taking me out of my head. It's being in good company. It's being with like-minded people. And it's just so, it just feels like this is the life that I want to live. You know what I mean? Yeah. I love you.
I agree. I think when you step into, like, more and more authentic versions of yourself, you invite that around you, right? Like, whatever energy you're putting out, like, also attracts you. Whatever you're seeking seeks you. And so I think, like, that is true. Like, I think I've stepped into this invitation as you've been doing it, and we've kind of been, like, doing this together a little bit, and building that intuitive power. And I think that means listening to yourself, but it means also trusting people that are doing the same.
Yeah.
And so that part of it, the collaborative piece, you know, even though it looks different, you're still, like, you're not alone. You're doing it with someone else too, and that feels, like, really good.
Yeah, it does.
It just flows, like, you know. Can I ask one last question?
Oh my gosh, yes.
Sorry.
Not in a bad way. I was just, like, nervous.
Yes. Okay, I know we are, like, gonna run out of time. When's the last time that you felt... When was the last time that you felt inspired? Like, what was an inspiring day for you, big or small? Just, like, the last time that you were, like, you felt that creative spirit, like, you're so in touch with it. What was that?
Yeah, I went for a walk last week and decided to just have a seat and played a meditation. It was a guided meditation for soothing impatience. And I went for a walk because my brain was racing. So I went for a walk to slow down, but I didn't really, I feel like it felt like muscle memory to just go for the walk. So when I sat down and like listened to it, it helped me realize that I wasn't as in tune as I thought I was. But the meditation itself had a lot of affirmations of just like, I wish I remembered the exact affirmations, but like, I am exactly where I need to be. Time is going to continue to move on forward. And hearing those words in that moment really helped me or inspired me to be more intentional, because I already thought I was being intentional before playing that meditation. But then also when I finished it, I was like, well, that was intentional itself, like sitting down and playing the meditation. And so it inspired me to honestly get back into reestablishing my routine. So that's my answer.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
What about you?
It's so funny because I think that we complement each other so well, but we're also opposites. Like, I have so much of a routine because of my kids that, like, it's stepping out of my routine for me that creates, you know, joy, like a little bit like opportunity for joy and chaos and like that energy of creativity. There's there's like 2 blogs that I read when I need to find hope or creativity. One of them is The Red Hand Files by Nick Cave. I've told you. And so he writes a lot about like grief and hope and the state of the world. And he's a musician that has lost 2 sons, and he just writes, like, people just write into him and he just writes back. So it's very like, it's just not leaning one way or the other. I think in a world that's so polarized, it brings hope in that it's just like, it invites you to be intentional, like what you're saying. It invites you to like see the spirit around you, like whatever that means for you, whether that's seeing the capacity for joy in grief or seeing the capacity for knowledge and truth and beauty around you on a walk, you know. So it's kind of, it just brings you into a different state, and it just brings me hope, honestly. And if you listen to his music, you maybe wouldn't see that initially. So but there's deep hope there. And then Liz Gilbert also has a one about self-love, writing to yourself, and she gives you prompts about writing to yourself, and, you know, what would it mean to meet your need today, or what would you have me know about, you know, you're asking the universe from the perspective of love. So, you know, what would you have me know today, and just like reminding yourself. So I think similarly, like, there's affirmations that you're talking about and things like that. But I think a day for me is like, if I can sneak off, go to the coffee shop, read one of those blogs, and then kind of have a minute of quiet to see which, usually it's like one line or one word that comes up to me, and just sitting and meditating on that word and seeing what pictures come up, what colors come up, what does it make me dream about, and then writing around that for a little bit, and then just like sitting in that energy, you know, like creating pause in that energy and enjoying it, like not letting it just come over you and wash away yet, like, creating intention around it. That to me like sets the center of the rest of my day. Like, I can pop back into my routine and schedule, and which is still chaotic with a 4 and 2-year-old, but that brings me into that feeling for the rest of the day. You know? So yeah,
I love that.
thanks.
Thanks for tuning in and sitting with us in this conversation. If it stirred something in you, I invite you to honor that, even if it's just a quiet moment of pause. And if you're feeling called to create more space in your own life, my book, Create Space, is here as a gentle companion on that path. And before we end, let's take another breath. And as we exhale, let's hold on to a takeaway that you could have gotten from today's conversation. So we're going to breathe in. Hold it. 3, 2, 1, and breathe out. Thank you again Until next time. How's that?
See ya.